Hi, my name's Sophie. Welcome to the Myvitamins studio. I'm one of the Myvitamins ambassadors and I'm also a full-time fashion model too. I'm here to talk about periods and all things women's health. So 5 years ago, I came off the pill and completely lost my period. I went back to the doctors and they said, yeah, perfectly normal. And then after a year, I basically went back and said, look, nothing's happening. I think because of the age that I was at, the job that I was doing, I didn't really notice that I wasn't having periods. 2 years ago, I thought, right, okay, this is not normal. I'm gonna go back to the doctors. And then COVID hit and everything got really backlogged. So I decided to go privately. And after thousands of pounds and endless tests that I had done, everything came back normal, so I decided to go on and research it myself. Along the way that I found a lot of YouTube channels about it and other people that would speak out about women's health and the fact that they'd also lost their periods due to something that I don't feel is really that spoken about. So this thing that I found out that I could relate to so much was basically down to stress, low weight and also over-exercising. A lot of other things do come into play with it as well, but they were like the three main things. So I decided to research more about it and decided to dedicate a whole year to basically just trying to get my period back. 5 years later, they have finally came back after doing everything that I dedicated myself to doing. And yeah, so that was my story. I'm a crier anyway, so that time of the month, I think my boyfriend knows when I'm due on. One thing that I've also recently noticed is obviously like bloating, water retention and everything that we all get. So many women do bloat and like some people excessively do. I don't feel like the effects of that are really spoken about either. So like the bad body image days that we have, no one really talks about that. Like we all talk about how we do get bloated, but no one really speaks out about it. I know that there are a lot of Instagram profiles and stuff at the moment that talk about body image and Instagram versus reality kind of thing, but I do think we really do need to speak about how our body image at those times of the month can really affect us mentally as well, especially with like all the hormones going on. Since I was doing all of my research and everything about the condition that I had, which is actually called hypothalamic amenorrhea, but you do need fat in your diet, and I was making sure that I had enough fats, protein in my diet. I'd eat so many avocados, nuts, oils, love all of that, peanut butter, and just making sure that you've got enough protein in your diet as well. Something else that I really found useful that I did a lot of research on as well that I actually now do get from my vitamins is maca powder and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha actually helps your body to regulate stress and it changes like how you'd respond to stress as well. So overall kind of makes you a little bit more relaxed. So I did find that that really helps as well, and maca's really useful. I also do take magnesium and iron as well. But I don't really cut out any food groups, to be honest. I am mainly plant-based, but if I do fancy fish or something, then I would never cut anything like that out. I think hot water bottles, everyone owns a hot water bottle, every woman that I know. They're great for bloating. I don't think that there's like a magic cure for it. I think there's certain times in the month where no matter how much peppermint tea you drink, you're always going to feel bloated. I personally don't suffer with painful periods, but I do suffer with the bloating. So I'm trying to learn just to accept it, just use those teas, the hot water bottles, just learning just to put a baggy jumper on and just accept the fact that it is just that time of the month and it's gonna go. I honestly think that we should just talk more to our partners, talk to our friends about it, like the body changes that do go on, especially as young girls growing up, they probably don't know what's normal and what's not. So really going into detail, I think, is so important. Like in lessons at school, I think that people should speak about just the changes that women's bodies do go through. I think we're just kind of told that we'll get a period every time of the month and that's it. But I do think that women should learn about the changes that our bodies will go through at that time. I also do think that speaking to our partners will be really useful, but I just think opening up about how we're feeling, like if there's anything that they could do to make us feel better, helping them to understand, because I also don't think men know a lot about it. It's such a taboo subject for men. If you mention your period to a man, they're like, well, no, want to talk about it. So I just think that maybe speaking to them about it and just helping them to understand a bit better would overall help us at that time of the month as well, so it's not so taboo to talk about. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and also go over to the Myvitamins Instagram channel to keep up to date with all the health tips and tricks. And if you've got any questions on the matter, then please do not hesitate to ask us.